What's going on, guys? So I got a new drone. I recently picked up the DJI Avata. It's their little Cine Whoop, and it came with the ProMotion controller, which everybody talks smack on. And I was also one of those people who was like, I don't really know what that's about, but I decided to check it out. So I don't know how long the unit's officially been out for. I know it came out late last year, so I am a late adopter to it. So the FPV was a new addition to my fleet. Having already flown camera GPS units like the Mav 3, the Air 2S, and the Mini 3 Pro, which are standard. I fly those weekly for recreational and for work, and I just love it. It's a well balanced. I have the battery life of the Mav 3 is 45 minutes. That gives me the most air time, especially for a long day of shooting, and plus you can't beat the Hasselblad camera. It's just amazing. Just an awesome unit, especially the weight too. We get a lot of wind here in the Midwest, and that helps with that. And then the Air 2S is kind of just this well balanced, mid-weight, mid-speed. I probably do my best work with that unit still to this day. I'm just most comfortable with it. And then I recently had gotten the Mini 3 Pro. I had never had a need for a Mini until I started flying indoors, and I thought that would be the unit for me. And I love the portability of it. So it is, I tend to carry that one a lot now when just going out to the park or working on the farm or something. It's a small unit that I can carry with me. And it shoots amazing quality. And if you're looking to get into the drones, I mean, that's the way to go, honestly. But then, as a creator, we're always looking for new and interesting ways to get those shots and make interesting content. And I tend to fly low, and I tend to fly in the woods, and I tend to fly around cows and through buildings. And I needed something a little more durable for that. And so the Avata came out, and I like it. I like the way it looks. It's kind of got everything I'm looking for in a drone. It's small. I mean, here it is compared to the controller. You can see. It's shielded. The propellers got this guard around it, which is something that if you fly drones, you rip through them, especially when you start clipping things like branches or cows. And that's pretty much it. It's still a fixed camera. There's no left or right gimbal action or anything like that. You still got to rely on your flying. So I decided to give it a shot and see where we get from there. I really enjoy the FPV version 2 goggles. They're awesome looking. You look like a fighter pilot, and the screen quality is nice. But what also sold me on the Avata was they come with these new goggles too, which are a little bit smaller. They have the OLED screen, and they have these awesome little dials for your wonky eye. It's pretty neat. It's got a little touch screen on it. It's just got 2 simple little antennas that flop up and adjustable strap. It's so far so good. It's really nice. And then the unit, they pair with these ProMotion controllers. Like I said, everybody was talking smack on them, but they kept saying it offered a different experience. And I had just gotten this thing yesterday, so by the time you get through all the setup, I had about 8 minutes of flight time, but within that 8 minutes, I really had a good time. I'm gonna make a video about how I see this can be purposely used. But it's definitely fun. Like, for anybody who's into this hobby, people are always asking me, like, I want to fly it. I like showing people how to fly. I get a kick out of it. It probably brings me more joy than doing it myself. And so I I see this being kind of a useful tool to kind of introduce somebody into it. This thing is surprisingly safe, and it's really easy to use, and I will be using it a lot more, I think, in my shoots. I'm just not confident that I can get up close and personal with things right now with it. If you're just looking for wide range, swoopy, buttery goodness, this is the thing to do. So I have a 7-year-old, and I think this is what I'm going to introduce him to. So there's that. But today, since I have the other FPV unit, I actually have the DJI Controller 2, which is more familiar to people like a video game controller and just your basic drone control system. So I haven't flown this unit yet with this controller, so this is today's first flight with that. I'm at my favorite park, and there's a row of trees here that I kind of just want to test the controller out with and see how it handles. I still have it set up in acro mode, but I think I'm just going to leave it in that right now. And for those who don't know, your controller doesn't have the springy back to center part. Your throttle actually sticks. I can fly either way. I'm comfortable with it, and I think for today, being a cine loop and being an FPV model, it just makes sense to leave it that way. So yeah, we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to tell you one of the things I don't like about this unit right out the box is when they first sold this thing or came to market with it, you know, you had the unit, the controller, and the goggles. And then there was an update that I did not do my homework on before activating it yesterday. Otherwise I would have skipped it, but due to laws and people, we have to now have the unit connected to our phone so that the phone can do an RID connection. It's not a big deal. It's another thing you got to hook up, and that can be a kind of a pain in the ass. It ruins the portability for it slightly for me, but my workaround is simple. Just going to order a really long iPhone cable that I got to carry in my back pocket to connect to the headset, to connect to the controller, just to keep things legal. DJI Care refresh available or purchase. No, nobody does that. It's just cheaper to have them fix it. Trust me. I crash a lot. Oh yeah, I do have a gimbal protector, but I already lost that within the first hour, so. Alright, so we need to do an unlock. I haven't done this yet through this unit, so bear with me here. Oh yeah, we're buried in a no-fly zone. Place goggles on a level surface. Calibrate goggles as shown. Only move goggles when instructed. Keep goggles powered on. Okay, well, how do you do that? I just hate all this calibrating. This would be like the 4th time I've calibrated any part of this whole setup, so I'm definitely gonna knock it for that. I get the importance of it, but I'm gonna be at like 60% battery by the time this thing gets ready to go up. I'm at 94%. Maybe it does like a beep or something when it's done. Oh, there's something. Two hours later. Oh, I gotta have them like that. So to calibrate these, you have to like lay them flat and then just stare down the table. It's so cool because there's just like so many people walking by. Like, what is this dude doing? Drone people are weird. It's cold. This is boring. Unlock successful.
Altitude zone reached.
Oh, very nice. Alright, so we're in business. I like to do a visual check just before I take off. Looks like all the elderly people are home now. They tend to swarm the park in the morning. Oh, there's one. We'll avoid them. Alright. Let's try this again. Alright, I haven't been on this controller in a while, so I just want to make sure, get myself acclimated real quick. This really is a pretty park. The unit is incredibly loud. Definitely nothing stealthy about it.
Keep reading between the lines. There's nothing there for you to complicate. We're not aligned. You say you listen, but guessing that's just another sign. Not growing up, you're growing old. Your life keep passing by.
Just gonna swoop around these trees for a little bit. Let's do sport mode now. A little speed, there we go. That feels more natural for my liking.
Now if you break it, I can take it. I don't need a prize. Leave out the fact that I am up against 1,000 guys. My intuition efficient, cause I can use my mind. Don't try to tell me how it's done. You haven't done your time. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah.
Oh man, I love the size of this thing. Handles good too. Handles really well. Alright, we're getting low on battery. Let's bring her in. That's the only problem with these smaller drones. That's the problem with the FPV stuff for sure. Is batteries don't last long. Impact detected. I think that's a good stopping point. Check it out. Got some mulch on there. I just love this frame. This is what I like about it. Like, it's durable, and I can just pick up and fly again. No prop replacement, at least on that crash. That last shot is something I typically attempt to do with my other drones, and have just been single-handedly destroying them. I'm pretty excited about the possibilities of this thing, to be completely honest with you. And I've been wanting to fly through that plastic tree trunk for 2 years. I bring my kid here all the time, and because I haven't been able to do it with my other drones. I attempted it once with the Mini 3, and it just kind of grazed the side of it. So the first pass I went right through. It was a nice swoop, clean exit, and then it's like, well, let's go again and come back around. It just grazed that back side of the trunk, and then I came out a little too fast because the controller, the throttle's still set on acro mode, like I said earlier, and I'm just not used to that. I haven't touched this thing since, I think, September, that controller, when I filmed a harvest. Decided to fly the FPV through that, so that's it. That was cool. Anytime you fly is a good time. I don't care what anybody says. So yeah, that was cool. I'm happy. Anytime I can get up in the air and just fly, first of all, especially on a beautiful day like today, on the wrong side of February right now here in the Midwest, so it's just been cold and gloomy and depressing. So it's nice just to see the sun and the clouds and people out and about. And I got some content, got some flight time with this. I do only have one pack, so I am gonna go home, review the content, charge up, and then I think I'm gonna go down and see the cows this afternoon and hopefully get another flight in. My thoughts on that are, this would be perfect because I do love filming cattle with my family's cattle farm, and the cattle have become very used to the drones. They're comfortable with them. This size will allow me to get the shot I want to get. I'm just a little concerned about how loud the unit is because it does sound like a pissed off bumblebee, and they don't like that. So take what you can get. So all right, I'm getting cold. It's been fun. Thanks for flying with me, and cue the montage.